Under the Design menu, you will select an option called Design Code. This will bring up a menu that stores all the design codes for the project. When designing a stack, we need to know how the wind and seismic loads are going to be calculated, the basis that we are going to use to evaluate the stresses and deflections, and the way we are going to calculate vortex shedding and its effects on the stack. All of these aspects are determined by the design standards that we select. Fortunately, there are some comprehensive standards that define most of this for us, and so just selecting a comprehensive design standard will dictate most of the other selections. The ideal approach is to find a comprehensive standard and select that standard. In this case, we will use ASME STS 1, and as you see, the stress, wind, vortex, and fatigue are automatically determined and are disabled so that we cannot change them. We do have the option of selecting the seismic criteria that we wish to use. Across the top of the window, you see a series of tabs, and each of these tabs has more detailed selections for the different standards that are now selected. Please note that the content of those tabs will change based upon the standard that is selected. We will not go through all of the inputs for each of these tabs, because the content changes based upon the standard that is selected, and so there will be many different combinations. There are some tools to help you understand the different options. The Wind tab has some different options. There is a button for Shape Factor, which is the same shape factor that can be accessed by going to Design Shape Factor. This was explained in more detail in another video. There is also a button for Wind Conversion. This is a small utility that may be useful in certain situations. Let's say you have a wind speed from an old stack and you know it was designed to ASCE 705, and you want to know what an equivalent wind speed would be using the 2022 version. You would select the original standard on the left and the new standard on the right, and it would calculate an equivalent wind speed. In this example, 125 miles per hour would be equivalent to 169 miles per hour using the 2022 standard. The Deflection tab is a big unique because not all comprehensive standards provide a deflection limit. This tab defaults to be the Meca recommended limits. The Live Load tab is not standard dependent, and you specify the pressure that will be used for live load calculations on all platforms. If you don't have a comprehensive design standard, then you will have to follow the less desirable path of using customized codes. Change the comprehensive standard selection to Custom, and here you will have to check a box indicating that you understand and accept the risk. We don't mean to be overly dramatic, but using the Custom option can be dangerous because things can get very complicated. While it may seem simple on the surface, delving into the details you can find that it gets very unclear how to handle certain situations. There is more detail on this in the help. Once you accept the risk, then you can manually change any of the criteria that is used for each check. As before, you go through the tabs and specify all of the entries required for each selection. You will also want to visit the Load Combination screen under the Design menu and review the load combinations and stress bases to make sure they are consistent with what you are trying to accomplish.